There are many different faiths in Crusader Kings III, including extinct faiths like Pagan and Hellenic. But did you know one of these extinct faiths is secretly still holding on at the beginning of the game? If you did, high five. The faith I'm talking about is Zunism, nestled safely away from prying eyes in the desert mountains of modern-day Afghanistan. In today's video, we are playing one of these secret Zunists, and we will attempt to revive the faith, returning the Zunbil dynasty back to its former glory. Hey my Crusader Kings and Queens, welcome back to another video. Today, as I said, we are bringing back the Zunbils. Like with the start of any Crusader Kings III campaign, first thing I do is I start trying to get my alliances set up. And unfortunately, I don't start with kids. But fortunately, even though I am a secret Zunist, my appearances faith allows me to have multiple wives. So despite having no children, I'm still able to get quite a few alliances. And with all these alliances, I'm able to very quickly move into Shahi above me and attempt to reconquer Zabulistan, returning it to its rightful owners, the Zunbils. I was very quickly able to siege down Zabulistan, and even though the game said it would be an astounding defeat, I was easily able to win the battle and fully take the province. And I quickly did some ransoming the prisoners, and I noticed my brother had been put in jail. Well, actually, my family member. So I went in there, quickly conquered him. And then I reset my perks and moved into Kidnapper so I could get up to some tomfoolery by trying to kidnap the king. My reason for doing this was not just to get him, but it was also because if I declare war and then quickly click the event, I can immediately win it by capturing him right at the start of the war. Then I move up into Gurid above me because I got a free claim, and this was a pretty easy war. Just, it was a little annoying, them going straight to my capital while I was attacking, but I remembered the button that lets me detach besiegers, which I always forget to do. So I was able to continue to siege and also win the battle. And then my liege tried to get me convert, and of course I'm only following the liege's religion to keep up appearances, so I had no reason to deny that. I was still secretly a Zunist, of course. And the war was pretty easy. It was annoying that after taking the war goal and winning a decisive victory, it wasn't over yet. So I started sieging their capital, and then they started running around, and I forgot about the detach besiegers button. So I could have been besieging this whole time and ending the war, but instead I took the whole army and was just chasing him around the Afghan desert. Not my brightest moment, I'll say. And the scheme was going well. I was trying to hire some more schemers, and I did keep getting some annoying events where the people involved in my scheme would die or get exposed, so they had to leave. Oh, and I was just constantly getting blackmailed because people knew I was secretly a Zunist. But a lot of the people blackmailing me were not even part of the realm, so I don't even know why they'd even want to hook on me besides just for the hell of it, I guess. And then I decided to go once again in the Shahi, or however you say it. And this war was a little more interesting. It wasn't as easy as the other ones. I did the tried and true siege down and then keep running away from their big army strategy until the taking war score was enough. Then I executed my scheme. I captured him, but surprise, surprise, he wasn't actually the king anymore. He got overthrown. So it wasn't really worth it anymore, but I captured him anyway, and then I decided, you know what? Let's at least get something out of this. So I ransomed him for 50 ducats, which was huge. I needed the money. And then, the new guy, the little kid, he made me his spy master, and I immediately started plotting to abduct him, as one should. Now back to the war. I moved up to Kabul, and the siege was going well. Almost pulled it off, and then their army appeared, and I did the old run away and hide strategy. I ran as far as I could, all the way down to Zabulistan, and you know, my idea was gonna try to make them split up and like do an easy battle in the mountains, but unfortunately they caught me, and it was looking like I was gonna lose the battle. But then I remembered debt doesn't matter, so I hired some mercenaries and went into debt. I would regret this later. but for the moment, it was a good idea, because I won the battle, and I also won the war. So we were only 2 counties away now from completing our goal of forming Afghanistan/Zabulistan. The only thing we had to do was get our independence. You might also notice that our liege is dealing with a lot of rebellions right now. And a couple of them were in our realm, so I quickly dealt for them on our liege's behalf. And, you know, the scheme didn't really end up mattering. I kept working on it until I realized that one of those wars was a dissolution war. And right as the scheme was getting ready to be launched, I got my independence without having to fight anything. So that was nice. And I finally did it. I openly admitted that I am a Zunist, and the Zunist faith was revived. So that's goal 1 of our Zunbil campaign. Our next goal, of course, was to form the kingdom and complete the Zunbil's return to glory. I had a pretty big rebellion right after I did it, but luckily I had some goons to help, and it wasn't that big a deal. They did siege down the capital, though, which made me have basically no control, so the money was an issue. Oh, and this little guy, just like in Pakistan, was like, I'm going to war with you, and it didn't pop up, so I didn't even realize I was at war until I just saw these guys hanging out on top of my country. But this was pretty easy. They did annoyingly siege down like half the country, but it was okay. They just had a really big castle, and once I got through their walls, they were donezo. And you know what? It ended up being good, even though it hurt my control, because they had a shitload of money. So we now had a ton of wealth, and we upgraded our army. And with this new army, we were ready to return once again into Shahi and take more of the territory we need. Oh, and I also tried to murder my brother right as he offered me an alliance. So I got rid of the scheme. So we went straight on in. This war was pretty easy. We did the old sit in Kabul strategy, and it worked. It was sieged down. The only thing now we had to do was sit around. They did come back with a counterattack, a big army, but luckily I had goons on my side. And with the goons here, we were able to get a decisive victory, and then after this amazing stroke of strategic genius, we were able to retake Kabul. It was amazing. And then taking war score, we let the goons fight them a little bit down the river, and we won. So now, I mean, we kind of have everything we need, but we need money. So this was mostly just a waiting time. As you saw, I went to a grand wedding. I did not know the couple. I just went there. And then we went again. You know, I needed that little tendril that Afghanistan has. I just wanted it. I didn't really need it. Well, I guess I did need it, because to take the duchy, I had to get rid of all his land inside the duchy. So I took it, and I mean, not much to talk about. Pretty easy. I just sieged it down, and I destroyed his army. And after that war, we had all the land that we needed. So it began the waiting game. And I became bored very, very quickly. So I went into this little county right beside me, and this was an incredibly easy war. They didn't really have any allies, no troops. So I began the long march down there, and as you see, they just kind of stood there, and they accepted their fate. And I'm like, I guess this is the end. So after we did that, I mean, it was just a waiting game. So I sped it up here so you can see all I went through, did some realm management, and that's just it. I was waiting for the money. But I mean, while we're sitting here, I want to say, first of all, thank you everyone for watching, and also thank you to everyone who has subscribed. As I'm recording this video, we are at 18 subscribers, which is huge, seeing as I only made the channel like 3 days ago. So thank you everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and tell me what kind of things you want to see in Crusader Kings III. So far I've just been kind of playing the game, and if I thought it was interesting, I said record it. And also tell me if you like this after the fact commentary more, or if you like me just as I'm playing commentating. Tell me. And with that, I had enough ducats. The Zunbils were back to their formal glory. Zunist were able to practice freely. It was a glorious day. If you all enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below what you thought.